Hi plant people, I hope you're having a super awesome day. Today I'm going to show you how to create a very simple spreadsheet that has a formula and it will automatically calculate when to start your seeds. Almost any software, spreadsheet software will work. There is Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. They are the most popular. They both have an app that you can put on your phone and sync with. And the only downside is they both require an account to use them. Now there is LibreOffice, which is a free program that you can download onto your computer, and you don't need internet access to use it, and you do not need an account. They're all very similar, so any of them should be okay. So I use Google Sheets along with the app on my phone. So anytime that I'm out in the garden, if I need to know something, I can just pop open my phone and look it up. So anyhow, that's what I use. That's what I'll be showing you today. So let's get to it. The first thing that we need to do is title our spreadsheet. So I'm going to put in here Seed Sowing Calendar. And then we're going to go down to A1, and I'm going to put in here last frost date. We're going to put our date just underneath that, but first we need to find out what that date is. To do that, we're going to go to plantmaps.com and put the zip code in. The town will pop up, and then it will automatically pull the map up. You can see here that this zip code has two different zones in it. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit to look at the map, and we're going to try to figure out where exactly we are on the map. I'm very close to the line, and knowing my garden as I do, I stick with the lower zone number because freeze is worse than heat in my area. If you're lucky, you'll just be in one zone and you won't have to worry about that. Now we're going to scroll down to the bottom to get additional information. Here is the last frost dates for this zone 5A to 6B. And I'm going to pick May 10th as my last frost date. So I'm going to go back to the sheet and I'm going to put in the date of May 10th. Then I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to rename the sheet. So here I'm going to rename it to frost dates with no space in between. It's important that there is no space there because then when we reference this, it won't work properly. Now we're going to create a new sheet. Click on the plus, and then we're going to rename the sheet right away. And I think we'll put in here seed list. It doesn't matter at this point if there's a space in the name. Now we're going to go up to the top again to A1, and we're going to start filling in our column names. So I'm going to put in here botanical names, common name, the variety, the sow date, sow depth, which is a convenience number for us. It's not needed for the calculations. Our sow span, which is like the 4 to 6 weeks. Now we need two columns here, so we're going to click on two of them, and we are going to go up to the top, and we're going to click on Merge Cells. We'll come back to that in a bit. Then we are going to put in our days to germination span, and this is also a convenience number. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come down to the next row, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in this information for a flower seed. So I'm putting in here Thunbergia alata is the botanical name for black-eyed Susan vines. It's an heirloom seed. It needs to be, we're going to skip the sow date for now. The seed needs to be a 1/2 inch deep. And our sow span is 5 to 6 weeks. So we're going to put in two different columns, a 5 in one column and the 6 in the other column. This is because we cannot use two numbers for the calculation. And then we're going to put in the days to germinations. To construct our formula, we need to know what the date is on the frost date spreadsheet. So we're going to go back down to the bottom and click on that. And we see that is in column A, row 2. That's the date, that's the numbers that we need to remember. So to start the formula, we need to put in an equals, and then we type in frost dates followed by an exclamation mark. This tells the spreadsheet to reference that sheet. Then we are going to put in a $sign, and then the letter A, a $sign, and a letter 2. These $signs mean that it's an absolute reference, and the spreadsheet will always refer to that row and that column on that sheet. Now we're going to put in a minus and a parentheses, and then we're going to go over and look at our longest date, which for me, I want to pick the 6. I want to have extra time if I need to, in case I forget to sow the seeds, if I don't sow them in 6 weeks, and I still have a little bit of time. So then we put in the G2, and then we're going to multiply that by 7 days, and then we're going to close it with another parentheses. When we hit enter, it automatically calculates the date, and you can see that right here. Now we're going to click on this date, and then on that little blue square, we're going to grab that square and we're going to pull down on that. This will automatically copy the formula down through all of those rows. Ta-da! Now the date is incorrect only because we don't have any information in the G column. I'm going to fill in some more seed information so that you can see that the formula works right. And with the magic of video, I'm going to paste it right in there. Ta-da! Now you can see our dates are automatically figured for those seeds that I have already added. So that's the basics of creating the spreadsheet. Let's go clean it up a little bit now. So click on the top row and then click on the B so we can bold our titles. Then we're going to scroll down or move down just a little bit on the top, and we are going to center the titles. As you can see, the words are just a little bit too long. So we're going to go up to the top, put our cursor on the line that separates the columns till the arrow shows, and just double click. That will automatically change the size that it needs to be. The sow date, I want it to be just a little bit smaller, so I'm going to scoot it in just a little bit. And our sow depth is a little too big for my liking, so I'm going to push over a little bit. Now you see the word sow depth does not fit in the cell, so we're going to wrap it so all the words are just wrapped in one cell. We're going to make the sow span smaller, each column. I'm doing this partly because if we want to print this out on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, it will all print out on one page, depending on how many seeds you have, of course, as far as the length goes. So we're going to continue working this just a little bit, and I'm going to come over here and line up my numbers in this column by centering it, and then we're going to wrap the days to germination span so that they fit in there. And ta-da, there we have a pretty sheet. We created 2 sheets to make it much easier to sort. To sort, we're going to click on the top corner up here to highlight everything, and we are going to go up to data, click on data range, and then down to the advanced. We need to do that to make sure we can click the box where it says data has a header row. If we don't do this, then our header row will end up down sorting into the rest of our columns. So you can see we can sort by all kinds of different ways, but for today we're going to sort by the sow date in alphabetical order, which gives us a numerical order, which you can see right here that all of our dates are now sorted in order. One last thing that I want to show you is how to freeze our column titles. We're going to go up to View, and then Freeze, and then click on one row. This will keep our column titles in place as we scroll up and down on the page. So I hope that was simple enough for you to understand, and I hope that you implement it because it's a tremendous relief and makes it much easier when it comes time for you to start those seeds, because you can just simply sort it by date, look at it, say, okay, I need to do this week. They can be more complicated, the spreadsheets, because if you succession sow or you want to sow more things, then you can add in your last frost date and rework the formula just a little bit. If you're interested in something like that, want to know how to do that, let me know and I'll make you another video for that. So thanks a lot for watching.